Good morning, everyone. It is such a beautiful day where we are saying, rise and shine. I am so excited to be back home, yesterday with so much zeal and with so much gratitude that I'm able to do these things that I do. So, for those that are joining us today, is Tuesday, where we come to you with mindset change. And today we are saying mindset change at a global level because almost everyone needs to have a shift so that we can be able to do the things that we really want, to achieve. Those ones that are joining us for the very first time, we've been coming on this platform for the last 3 years and still counting, where we bring our expertise to help those that are around us and to just learn from each other the things that, as an individual, you will be failing to do. On Monday, we've come with Rep Water. On Tuesday, it's Mindset Change. On Wednesday, it's an open market where everyone listening to us today can come and share their goods and services. So on Thursday, we have Dr. Nelly Kangwa, who just prepares us to just go out and get focused and do what we need to do. And on Friday, because we live in this one body, we like to socialize ourselves with health tips, and this is done with Dr. Jack Mulundika. So in my excitement for today, where we are bringing Mindset Change Global, I participated in the 4th Turkish African Business Economic Forum, and I was one of the speakers on the Turkey Africa Leadership Dialogue. And it opened a new world for me, and this is why I said, let me share what I shared with you at that platform. It's a platform where you know that you just can't get there unless you have been introduced by someone, and this is just through networking for success. We have to be intentional when we network. We have to be able to socialize ourselves in the areas where ourselves will not be able to do it. But once we join hands, then we are going to be good. So the main thing, introduction, mainly is what came out in that. Before I even start, I would just like you to share this platform where you're watching us from. Can you just indicate where you're watching us from? Can you share that you're watching from wherever and how you're feeling today? Are you ready to drive with us? So just type in that chat box whether you're watching us on LinkedIn. And I know, I hope that my colleagues, the entrepreneur in residence of the Lancaster University, are watching. Because I promised that I will come back and share the things that I would be sharing at that platform. So the introduction is basically, we are stronger together. We are stronger together. And together, when we put things together, we can, mindset change is possible. And we can have systems where we can encourage one another that we can be able to achieve greater heights. So we are stronger together. And I'm so happy that you joined this call this morning, because for sure we are stronger together. So in setting the tone, we had the African Union Development Agency, a NEPAD, who just came out and just set the tone, where we said she was actually even just giving personal a personal story, where even if she had lost her mother 1 month earlier, because this was so important, she had to come out and share her experience. So when we've got issues, happening around ourselves, let's not just sit there and say, oh, the world will know that I am not well today. So I actually got something from her sharing that inspired me to say, let not your circumstances decide your fate. Let not your circumstances, be the thing that you front, but come out, and share, the things that you are passionate about. Then we also had a keynote speech, which was given by, the names are so challenging, but I'll just say the president of DEC and chairperson, the chairperson of DEC, and she is the one who actually coined this. This is like the, she has developed this through DEC, women doing things better than they would. So she has collected women, and she's chairperson of the female DEC, which is the equivalent of ZDA here. And she is just so amazing. And she also emphasized the point that when you are in these platforms, make sure that you're using this platform according to the way that you want to go and share when you get back home. And for me, that was really something that I really did take back. And then we also had HE, the Minister of Family and Social Services of the Republic of Turkey. Again, her department, the Department of Family and Social Services in Turkey is it's on another level, where they just engage. They make sure that everyone has come along. What can it be done? And through what she was speaking about, I saw the passion of when one is holding that kind of office. The passion that they have is just something amazing. Then we also had the Minister for Investment, Entrepreneurship, and Industry of the Republic of Seychelles. So again, she really brought out like women face a lot of challenges when they are leading at that level. It's like you're so guilty leaving your family. You're guilty doing certain things because your children need you. They're not so much worried when the mother is there. They're not so much worried even if the father is going places. But for you as a woman, you're feeling this guilt that you are this person who's supposed to be here, and so you are doing extra things. And this is how come they say children get spoiled when a mother is traveling, because you just want to feel that this is what. And this is where I actually even told my story that I was there. I've got a warrior who suffered a stroke, and I'm there. I'm being encouraged by people identifying the strength that I have, that I can be able to change someone out there. So if you're listening to me today, just know that you are equal to the task wherever you are as a woman, and those engendered men who will support women to go an extra mile and make the world. So our moderator, Her Excellence Ambassador, who is also Minister, Director General of Eastern and Southern Africa in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Turkey. She was just so amazing. She was just talking about possibilities, and the way she was introducing all of us just made all of us feel that we are there to contribute so much, to the world. That she was introducing us with so much passion. It's like she knows us. When she mentions your name, it's like she really knows us. So when she was introducing the panelists, on the panel we had Her Excellency Susie Barbosa, a special advisor to the president on foreign policy in Guinea-Bissau. Then we had Ms. Bena, who is a BRN Sleep Products. She does mattresses. We're connected. And she's also chairperson and board member of DEC. We had myself, Sylvia Bimwansa, founder and CEO of SBM Investments. When she introduces you, then our names was being written on the big screen. It just felt like home. It just felt like people were ready to listen to you. And then we had this young lady, Madisa. She's the chairman of GABA and managing director, Tsitsa Uhuru. And then we had the president of Africa Business Council, Dr. Amani Asfor, who just took the stage at another level. So when we are speaking change, we are speaking the things that are close to our heart. And for me, I just want to share the speech that I did because we didn't have enough time, but through this platform, we'll be able to reach out those who were not able to be to listen to this, because the feedback that I got was just so amazing. So my speech that I delivered is as follows. So it's obviously for the esteemed guests that were there and also the colleagues that were listening. I wrote on the protocols of everyone who was there. I stood before the cloud to shed light on a crucial aspect of organizational growth and the prosperity. Why would I say organizational growth and prosperity? Is because we are there as the power of mindset change in relation to personal development, business growth, succession planning, and retirement preparedness. So, in a rapidly evolving world, where markets are disrupted, like what COVID did to the world, technology is rapidly advancing. Today, we are using StreamYard, and generational shifts have occurred. It is imperative for businesses to adapt and embrace a transformative outlook towards succession planning. By cultivating a mindset change that embraces the concept of progress, we can unlock boundaries. We can unlock and be that the world has got no boundaries. We can have potential and pave the way for successful future. And this success future, which is filled with seamless transitions, thriving leadership, and sustained prosperity. We are saying sustained prosperity because sometimes when we just having prosperity for today, and if it's not sustainable, then it just stays on that plateau. So the topic being the role of women in Africa's growth and development agenda brought out certain things as Africa as a continent with a population of 1.3 billion, which is home to a remarkable group of individuals and women especially, but this is not really taking out the whole population, but women of 1.3 billion who represent half of that population, but their contributions go far beyond mere numbers. And why am I saying this? It's because if you know, I'm sure a lot of people know that women in Africa produce 62% of the economic activities of the continent. The statistic alone showcases the immense potential and power of African women in driving economic growth and prosperity. Furthermore, women make up 58% of the continent's self-employed population, demonstrating their entrepreneurial spirit and determination to create thriving businesses. And I'm telling you here that I was so proud to be on this platform as a self-made entrepreneur who was on the stage because of my personal contribution to the things that I've been able to do by myself, because most of the people that speak on this platform, they're either speaking for the continent because of who they are or what position they hold in government or in the institution that they hold. I was purely picked on my own accolades, and I'm so proud of the development that have happened in my life. It is also encouraging to note that women entrepreneurship in Africa has been on a steady rise. In fact, Africa has become the first continent of female entrepreneurship as stated by the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. This exemplifies the tenacity and innovation displayed by African women who are reshaping the business landscape and seizing opportunities for success. So, are you where you're seated today? Are you seizing opportunities that make you drive, that end story, that make you change your story? Are you making that difference? If you are, congratulations to you. If you are not, there's still chance for you to start, and you can start today. You can start today. Because moreover, the visibility of women in decision-making positions across the continent is on the rise. So you can stand up and be counted. We can see this in the political sphere, where countries like Rwanda have embraced gender equality. Gender equality with more than 60% of parliament members being women. This is an inspiring example that demonstrates the transformative power of female leadership. And if we can, I remember when I was the president of Business and Professional Women, we had done a validation with Femnet, where the countries, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Zambia, and Rwanda itself, where we went to present the findings. And I remember the female honorable ministers, when we were presenting it to the AU Parliament, said for them, as soon as they arrive, they will be able to implement what was in those findings. It was just basically on the policies or treaties that government signed on behalf of its people. Is it working? Is it what people need? If it's not what people need, why do we have to stick by it? Or is it possible that we can change it? So, they got it, and we were so happy. Even when you're reading their progress, you actually see that things are really what they want them to be. But it's not just in politics where women are making a difference. Academic research has consistently shown that companies with a greater representation of women on their boards of directors and executive committees tend to perform better financially. And this is according to academic research. It's not my saying, but I also have seen that women really have they don't take emotion, or they are a kind of species that would be able to say it the way it is. And this is why men have even taken advantage of saying women can't work together. No, it's because women talk about things that they are not happy with. Women talk about, they are open to say this is not correct and this is not what. So let's not use that as a way of labeling women, that women cannot work together. They can, but the way they solve problems is what is different from how men solve problems. So if we are together, we are stronger together, we can be able to actually use this phrase to the advantage of women and say, what is the problem? What is the challenge? Because challenges give you opportunities for you to work better. So this undeniable correlation between gender diversity and the success indicates that empowering women in business is not just a moral imperative, but also a smarter economic decision. I have said smarter economic decision. Why? In the program that I'm lead consultant and I facilitate called Mindset Change Process, we have come to use smarter because of also the way we engage with other facilitators around the world, where we are evolving and we are changing. Of course, we know SMART goals, we know them being specific, measurable, actionable, but we have said we include the R, which is risk-taking, as part of life, and we should be able to embrace it. Just for the women who were there, when I heard the stories, a lot of us had taken calculated risk to be there. Calculated risk to be there. And if we can always calculate our risks and be able to show up in places where we are good, then we're going to be good to go. So we've also added, in the smarter, the E, exciting. Women need to keep the excitement going to achieve their set goals, because if anything is going to derail you and you lose your excitement, then it's not going to be able to be done. So in the smarter way of doing things or setting our goals, we should remain excited and relevant. In being relevant is critical for our goals to be met. In the changing world, we must remain relevant, we must excite ourselves, we must take calculated risk. So this is what I have been able to understand and take forward. So I just want you to write in the chat box, I will be smarter in the way that I set my goals. Smarter setup of goals. I will be smarter, because you're talking to yourself. So just engage yourself and say, I will be smarter in the way that I am taking my goals forward. So also the other one thing that I brought out in my speech was investing in the younger generation, because I have heard a lot of young people complaining about they've got an idea, they've got this big idea. Once they share it to the adult world, the adults would want to take it up, and because they've got the money and the power, they just short of saying steal the idea and run with it without even recognition. So we have to invest in the young by making sure that they are also trading in a safe place, because Africa's growth and development agenda can only succeed if we tap into all its resources and talents. And the young people have got the resources and they've got the talent. They just need to be nurtured and mentored to be responsible and have the protocols right. It is imperative that women who contribute so significantly to the continent's economic, social, and political life are able to participate fully and be empowered. Not this empowerment of, I can assure you the empowerment that we talk about, even the way some of these programs are arranged, they want women to engage. But when it comes to facilitating their growth, then they cannot do it. They want to facilitate you. I don't know where we miss it, this real empowerment, because even if they said, go to Turkey or go even near South Africa or even here in Zambia, and they are charging even 1,000 kwacha or even 350 kwacha, because I've been here, I've been around. They're charging 300 kwacha, or even our program, which is like $365 at the most for for local, which is like 5,500. How many people can afford that? So I think first things first, if we have to fully and empower the way we want, we must be able to actually be able to fund mindset change, so we can be open up and say it's not all about money. You have to invest. But how? If people want to help those programs that they want to run, from my experience, we first need to open up. We first need to have this mindset shift so that we can be able to understand the magnitude of our responsibilities, because sometimes we do not understand. So by investing in the capacity building of women in Africa, we not only elevate their status, but also unlock a vast reservoir of potential that will benefit the entire continent. When we say empowerment, I think we're stronger together. What is this? How can we translate women empowerment? How can we translate it so that it can work? Because, everyone who comes every day when we are listening to the ministries of commerce, ministry of SMEs, they say there's funding for women, there's funding for youth, there's funding for this, there's funding, but we never touch that funding. So I think this is the time that we need to say, what can we use to be able to actually access that funding so that we can do the things that are every day being pronounced? For me, I am ready to take that challenge. So in this, for me, these are some of the legacy issues that I want to leave behind. Legacy issues as we leave the stage. What are these things that we're going to be able to do for us to be able to manage change? Legacy issues are these things that, how are people going to remember you? How are people going to know about your contribution? How are people going to continue with your legacy? How is it just going to happen? So to this, I spoke about how we can be able to manage the change, to change the status quo. How can we manage to change the status quo? From the experience I have gained over my 3 decades in business, is that we need to shift our mindset to what is working and forget about the things that have not worked in the past. We have to forget about those. There's always a starting point in life. Can we be able to start in life? In our consultancy, we have created a mindset change tool called My Process to Mindset Change, dealing with effective, efficient, personal time management, retirement preparedness, and succession planning. And we are not forgetting customer service, so that we are able to manage the change process willingly, enlightening activities to make the goals achievable. For legacy issues, like I've said, and continuous relevance through philanthropy, I'm a big philanthropist. So working with the I have created a foundation called Sustainable Business Mentorship Foundation, and this is just nurturing, you know, the ideas of young people, nurturing the ideas of young people, giving them the drive, giving them the torch, and making their will start in this foundation. And we want them to be um, uh, to create their wealth in a safe place. So this is a shield for young people, and I hope that someone who is listening out there can be able to come through and say they would want to support the Sustainable Business Mentorship Foundation, which is the legacy that I want to leave behind as I leave the stage, because I've seen it all, and I know what is missing, and I know what we need to be taking out there. So, on taking action, who takes charge? Dear ladies and gentlemen listening on this platform, it's high time we stopped ticking boxes and attending endless talk shows, conferences to find the solution. We are the change we have been waiting for. We are who we can be when we are on the platform. From each conference and forum we attend, let's draw the action points and act on them. Can we start from here? By tracking the number of women led, and this was my hope that I was going to actually get from there. If we had a platform for for Zambians, but nonetheless, I did engage the ambassador, the Zambian ambassador to Turkey. I did engage the African Union chief himself, Ambassador Mchanga. I did engage the COMESA Secretary General, who was there at the audience. I did engage them, and I've been promised that we will start this process, and I'm going to follow it through. And I even volunteered, if you need my services, I can find young people who would be able to. I'll be able to say, do this. What's created database? Who attended? How many people have attended the Africa Turkish Business Forum before? Can we put them together? Can we find how many women have been there? How many men have been there? Can we start a process so that we can be able to change something? We can be able to track the number of women-led businesses, whether supported by government institutions or self-made like myself, and document them to give as examples on the following forum or conference of the good that has taken place. How many companies engaged? How many companies were there? Who said they would do this? And so we can be able to help each other, because they said we are stronger together. How to pass on the information? Next year, let us count the women that are on this conference to see where they are sitting on the relevant boards to see change. Who is ready? I am, and not only by words, but with tools to effect the change effectively and efficiently. I also have proof that mindset change is possible through the book that I have written, and which just shows, that these activities are able to run. And I know the Zambian ambassador to Turkey, bought the book, and he immediately started to read it, and it actually evoked something. So I can be able. He actually said he's got 3 books in his mind, and I said, yes, Your Excellency, just to start. So I engaged back home with my Lusaka chamber. I said, things here are happening. So I got to President Lawrence and I asked him, I said, it's happening here. And so he actually said, can you be our official representative? I said, I can't do that because I came here on my own. But I said, if you give me a letter, I'll give it to the authorities and I'll be able to confirm that I could be able to represent. And yes, he did send the letter, and I gave it to the ambassador, and I also gave the credentials of the ambassadors. I got the cards and those people that I wanted to engage, because all other countries, they do these things through the chamber. So I sent that background. So in concluding my speech, let us recognize and celebrate the remarkable achievements of African women. Let us support their entrepreneurial spirit advocate for their presence in decision-making positions, and strive for gender equality in all sectors. By doing so, we embark on a journey towards a more prosperous Africa where women play a pivotal role in shaping its future. Stand up and tell your story. You have earned your space through wealth mindset. Stand up and tell your story. You can tell your story anywhere that you like. You can tell this story anywhere. And to crown it all, we had the Africa Union speak because we were like the curtain raisers where the president was coming to address. And then we had the Africa Council, Dr. Mani Asfo, we had Mr. Naike Aupak for DEC speak, and we had the Ambassador Albert Muchanga, who the keynote speaker, the Commissioner for Economic Development, Trade, Tourism, Industry, and Minerals of the African Union addressed the podium before the president came to speak. And he's very passionate about the African Union partnership with Turkey. Countries must drive its economies through partnerships and investment. Africa is ready, that was his own words. Africa is ready to make economic contribution and economic governance. He affirmed the mutually beneficial outcomes drawn by ministers and various interventions during the 2 days. And then the president came to close. And in closure of the event, the president, His Excellency President Erdogan, was so passionate about his country and supporting environment for businesses to thrive. DEC has benefits and strong that everyone who is doing business in Turkey is registered member through the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which does not happen here. We find people with the big voices, the big people that nurturing things, they're not part of the chamber. So when they speak, even if there are some good policies that the chambers have agreed with government, sometimes they get shifted because the big people are not there. So our age, maybe this would be one wake-up call for our country where we can be able to say whoever is doing business, can they be in the chamber? Can they join the chamber, the Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, so that we put one big voice because we are stronger together. He said these straight words, simply, we are stronger together. So this is what I had to share with you, and be able to always, whoever we're listening us from, we've got our program. You can sign up with those numbers that are scrolling there. Sign up on the Mindset Change process. We are there. You can also buy the book. There's website there, sylviabimwansa.com. You can buy the book. You can get on the program through www.sbmcorporateservices.com. You can enter on there or just contact us. We'll be able to guide you through the program. So that was my sharing today. I hope you were part of the Turkish African Business Economic Forum, which happened between the 12th and 14th of October in Turkey, Istanbul. It was a platform where women can thrive, and I invite you to come with us next time, because I'll be there next time to tell my story. Thank you so much.
Wow. That's amazing, Sunshine. I just wanted to catch you and intercept you before you say bye, because as you remember yesterday in the evening, you shared the pictures, and I was able to, through these platforms, create a little video collage of your event. So I'm sure many would be happy just to see it. The only picture missing is the picture of the president, but I mean the president of Turkey, of course. But other than that, we have all the other pictures, and perhaps that would be something nice for them to look at.
Thank you so much, Dave. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, let's see if I can whip it up. You know how it goes. And then after that, we can say bye. So everybody out there, these are highlight pictures of Sunshine's experience. Go ahead and watch.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Wow.
much. Thank you.
No, no, that was
Thank,
very powerful, and I'm sure everybody has been able to see just how awesome it was. I'm sure next week we might be able to actually run your speech if you want us to. I'm sure by then somehow have managed to extract it, and then they can. In fact, hopefully we can actually extract the whole video itself rather than just the speech in audio. They will be able to see the whole thing. So, from myself and everybody in our academy, well done, Sunshine. This was awesome. You were representing, as we would say, and you did a great job in that representation. It was absolutely amazing to watch.
thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone in the world.
indeed, everybody, take care. God bless. Have a